Hello everybody, my name is Murdoch Kuna. Today, I made a tier list for you to enjoy, and I'm gonna be talking about all these Disney characters, but not regarding like my personal preference, how cool they are, that kind of thing. And we're gonna be looking at all these characters, ranking them according to how well do they encapsulate the whole idea of Disney, how well do they represent Disney, you know? Both as the magical fairy tale, like storytelling giant that Disney has always been, but also considering, of course, the greed, the corporate, like the monopoly, the whole aspect of which has honestly been more noticeable, more prevalent in this past few years, almost decades. But yeah, this is how we're gonna do it. I'm just gonna get to it because there's just a lot of characters, okay? First off, Aladdin. Okay, Aladdin. That's an easy, very Disney character, I think. Not yet, he's got nothing on some of the stronger Disney like icons, but among the Disney protagonists, I do think he stands out. Everybody dresses up as him. You see a lot of Aladdin in the parks and everything. I don't think he's got nothing on Jasmine, for example. But yeah, he really, yeah, very Disney. Then we got Alice. Now, Alice. Interesting case because Walt Disney was really interested in Alice and the whole Alice in Wonderland project. But I think with the passage of time, she's like she hasn't stood the test of Disneyness as much. I'm just gonna put her in, yeah, in Disney enough because she is quite Disney. Then we got Ariel. Okay, let's talk about the Disney princesses for a minute. Um, if I ranked the Disney princesses as a unit, as they are often depicted, bruh, it would be unfair to every single other character on this list because those bitches as a unit, they are the mouse. They are on par with the mouse. We all know who the mouse is. They would be on the top of the tier list. So that would be unfair. Let's just rank them. Oh shit. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I'm new with this thing. And I'm gonna be clipping it, probably. This is not live or anything. But yeah, we're gonna rank the Disney princesses individually, alright? So starting off with Jasmine, an easy, very Disney as well, more so than Aladdin in my opinion. One of the most Disney princesses, for sure, for sure. Then we got Aurora, who I don't think she stands on par with Ariel. She once did. Maybe she was once one of the most Disney princesses, but today she's still very Disney for sure. Yeah, very Disney. But yeah, I think she's not top tier among the Disney princesses. If we were to rank them in another different tier list, of only Disney princesses. Then we got the Avengers. Now, with the Avengers, I did group them together because like they are officially Disney. We have no choice. Neither do they. They're in the parks. They are part of Disney. Nothing we can do about it. But still, I think they stand on their own. I mean, you do not think Hulk or Captain America and immediately think Disney. Not at all. Not at all. Thank God. So, yeah. These guys are barely Disney. They are Disney on paper. And now we got Baby Yoda. I know his name is Greg. I couldn't give a shit if I tried, okay? Baby Yoda it is. And I think this guy is already a very Disney character. He has been one of the best tools for Disney to claim Star Wars, like in essence, more than in paper or name. This guy, he is 100% Disney. So yeah, I think there he goes. Then we got Bambi. Well, Bambi. Initially, you think Bambi, and yeah, you think like a very Disney character, but also I don't think he stood the test of time, and he does not compete, not at all, with some of these guys. So I'm gonna put him in Disney enough, because he is, yeah. Okay, now then Beast. Beast, very iconic, for sure. Not as much as Belle, not as much as many of these characters. I also think I'm gonna put him in Disney enough. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Then Belle. Belle, on the other hand, she might just be, well, no, but she's a top tier Disney princess, for sure. Very Disney. Very Disney. She nearly makes it to almost the mouse. Buzz Lightyear, I think the guy is very Disney. He might be the most Disney of the Pixar characters. You could say on par with Woody, but I think he beats Woody by at least by a few inches. Yeah. Now on with Chip and Dale. Yeah, these guys. I love chipmunks. They're delicious. These guys. I don't know. I'm not convinced on Chip and Dale. Really, I think of the of the Mickey Mouse gang. Yeah, I think they're not too Disney, you know? Like, yeah, they're there. They're whimsical, and you know, they're nasty. It's cute, but they're not too Disney. Like, do you even know which one is Chip? I'm sure a lot of people know. Yeah, actually, I'll take that back. If you know which one is Chip and which one is Dale, chances are you're a loser. Okay, next. Okay, now Cinderella. Cinderella. I'm gonna go ahead and say this bitch might be the most Disney princess of all. I mean, think about it. Just look at this image. That's one of the most Disney images that could ever be invented, right? And yeah, she encapsulates the whole idea of what a Disney princess kind of is, I suppose. I think she deserves to be almost the mouse. Yeah, I think she deserves to go there, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Definitely, I think she's got a little more oomph than Belle, Ariel. Yeah. Even though I'm not a big fan of Cinderella, but I get it, you know, the pumpkin carriage, she talks to animals, fairy godmother, and you know, underdog, her magic changes her life, and all that kind of thing, yeah. Then we got Cruella. Cruella, I'm gonna put in, yeah, she's a very iconic villain, but still, she's a crazy old lady who wants to kill puppies, you know? She's not too Disney, considering, even though I might agree with her reasoning, yeah, I'm gonna just put in her not too Disney. Then we got Daisy, huh? Yeah, also from the Mickey Mouse gang. She's not as irrelevant as Chip and Dale. And I've also never tried Duck, and although that's irrelevant. But yeah, I think the Daisy is probably, yeah, let's say she's Disney enough. I think she is. Oh, Darth Vader. Oh, Darth Vader. Interesting case, because sadly enough, tragically enough, I do think Darth Vader has been assimilated somehow to Disney. Obviously not to us who love Star Wars, but for a lot of people, Darth Vader is genuinely a part of Disney. People go to Disneyland to see Darth Vader, expecting to see Darth Vader, you know. Still, don't get me wrong, I'm gonna put Darth Vader I'm gonna put him in not too Disney. But that's enough, Jesus Christ. That means he's somehow Disney, you know? All the plushies that he sells, all the... It's tragic, really. It pisses me off. But I think that's the state of things with Darth Vader. Excuse me. Then we got Donald. Okay. Yeah. Donald, he is almost the mouse. He was created when they made Mickey like this saint and he stopped being quirky and stupid and all that stuff. The mischievous, angry side of Mickey, well, that's Donald. And Donald is a household name, you know? I mean, he's Donald. He is almost a mouse, for sure. For sure, yeah. Then we got Dory. Dory, you know, that thing I said about Buzz Lightyear? Maybe Dory has him bit. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. But she's definitely very Disney. Definitely. Eeyore. Eeyore. Well, Eeyore, I think with Eeyore is kind of like a cult thing. Like, not a cult, like, you know, he's kind of like a cult classic. Like, he's a niche character. There's a lot of people who really like Eeyore. Still, of course, I don't think he is very, very, very Disney. But yeah, he's Disney enough, for sure, for sure. I mean, Piglet is also in the picture. Who gives a f*** about Piglet? I'm sorry, I know a lot of people really love Piglet. He's a little pussy, that's what he is, if you ask me. But he's not on the list. That's the image I found of Eeyore. Piglet is right there. I do not respect Elsa. Because, well, I do not respect Frozen. Okay? I said it. And, still, she is definitely very Disney. She is probably one of the most representative of the Disney princesses. I cannot be biased on my answer. Still, I don't think she quite makes it above, she doesn't quite make it to almost a mouse yet. But she's definitely very Disney, for sure, for sure. Then we got the fairy godmother. Now, the fairy godmother, well, yeah, I think among the magical assistants Disney characters, I think she's fallen off a little bit. We don't hear or see a lot about the fairy godmother. I mean, she's better. We all prefer the Shrek fairy godmother, don't we? With just cause, of course. So, yeah, I'm gonna say the fairy godmother is Disney enough, for sure. Yeah, she's Disney enough, definitely, yeah. I mean, she's magic and shit. Then we got Fozzie the bear. I have an uncle who met Fozzie. He says he's quite a good sport, quite a champ. And I like Fozzie. Same thing that Darth Vader. The tragedy of Disney making the Muppets work for them. But just like Darth Vader, and maybe even more so, the Muppets stand on their own. Absolutely they do. You do not think Fozzie you think Fozzie and you're thinking about other things. Your Mickey Mouse doesn't even cross your mind, does he? Not at all, not at all. Yeah, I'm gonna say Fozzie is barely Disney. Barely. The Genie, well, for a moment there, I'm tempted to put him in Disney enough, because I don't think he is quite as Disney as Jasmine or Aladdin, for example. But who am I kidding? The guy is very Disney. Yeah, absolutely. A gem. Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Then we got Goofy. As a, comparing Goofy to Donald, I think Goofy is the kind of guy that you might have an uncle who really loves Goofy. A lot of people love Goofy, don't get me wrong, Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of Goofy, but he's alright. Yeah, he's alright. I do think that he was once almost a mouse. Definitely. He had his own movie. He was big. Goofy was huge. Right now, I think he's struggling. I think Goofy right now is struggling, so I'm gonna put him in very Disney. Probably at the top of very Disney. And then we got Helen. Mommy Helen. Yeah. Well, I'm not into that kind of human stuff, but I get it. And to be honest, I think The Incredibles are not that strong with the Disney vibe. Of course, they sell a lot of merch and all that stuff, but really they're kind of separate. They are very they have a strong Pixar aura, but they stay within it. They don't really cross to the whole Disney thing. So I'm gonna put her in not too Disney. Yeah. I mean, she definitely does not stand besides Alice and the fairy godmother, not at all. So yeah, she's not too Disney, not to me. Then Jack Skellington. I think this guy, he's owned by Disney. He's officially, you can buy keychains in the parks with his face and shit. But the guy, I think he's barely Disney, really. He's his own thing. He's got a huge following. What Jack Skellington represents has very little to do with Disney. His movie, yeah, absolutely. He is barely Disney. Now on with Jasmine. Jasmine, let's be fair, people. She's one of the most Disney things that has ever been put to Disney. Definitely. I don't know. She's definitely not almost a mouse. Don't get me wrong. I think she's one of the strongest Disney princesses for sure. Cinderella just has that tiny little, I think it's her castle. I'm not sure. The Cinderella castle, the one that's used for the logo and shit. I'm not sure about that. I might be wrong. Okay. But yeah, Jasmine doesn't quite make it to almost a mouse. But she is a contender for the strongest of the Disney princesses for sure. Definitely a very, very Disney character. Then we got Kermit. Similar to the case of Fozzie, unfortunately, I think Kermit does go a tier above that. I do think Disney has tried, I mean, evidently, because he's the face of the Muppets, but still, Disney has tried to own the idea of what Kermit is, definitely more than Fozzie, because he's the face of the Muppets. Still, I think I will put Kermit in not too Disney, because although as I said, the Muppets quite stand on their own, there is the contract is more evident with Kermit than it is with the rest of the Muppets, right? So yeah. Then, on to Maleficent. Well, now. Well, now, this bitch might... You know, I'm hesitant to put any villains, really, in the almost the mouse category. Because even if they do encapsulate, like, what a villain, Disney villain is, it's always... The Disney villains are the antithesis of Disney. A very good Disney villain is the opposite of what Disney is supposed to be. And yeah, I think she is the perfect example of that. Still, she is definitely very Disney. Very, very Disney. So there we go. There she goes. And Mary Poppins. Well, yeah, not too Disney. I'm gonna go ahead and say she's not too Disney. Now, you know what? She's barely Disney. Yeah, I think Mary Poppins is safer than other of the bot items on this list. Scrooge McDuck, huh? Personal hero of mine. For this list, though, I'm gonna... yeah, it's enough. He's Disney enough. Sure thing. Then we got the Lightning McQueen. I feel like this guy is overall not too Disney, right? I mean, he's a selfish car. Voiced by Owen Wilson. And he's popular though with the kids. Kids like him. Yeah. Now then we got Mickey Mouse himself. The very mouse. Well, what the hell am I even gonna say, right? I mean, what could I say that you haven't heard? That he's the mouse. And then we got Minnie. Minnie, by definition, she's also a mouse, of course. Man, I'm gonna go ahead and say that she qualifies perfectly as almost a mouse. Maybe even more so than Donald, because all the little girls are, the Minnie is strong with little girls. And Donald is like, Donald is awesome. What the hell am I even saying? Minnie is also almost a mouse, for sure. And then we got Moana. Moana. Look, the movie is very good. The character, though, I mean, she's alright. I like Moana, but I'm gonna have to say that she doesn't really give me those Disney vibes, Not too much. Not enough for me to give her like a very Disney kind of. But she's definitely Disney enough, for sure. Yeah, Disney enough it is for Moana. Mr. Incredible is gonna go right next to his wife here. Not too Disney. Here we go. Mulan, I feel like I didn't put Hercules on this list, did I? Yeah. But I think similarly to Hercules, it's like from the Renaissance era. Like, of course, they are iconic, but not so much. I feel like not so much. She's Disney enough, for sure. Yeah, there she goes. Nemo, Disney enough. Yeah, definitely not as... I think Dory is on a... Yeah, he's not on the same tier as Dory, for sure. And we got Olaf. Oh, Olaf. Well, Olaf, I think he might be even stronger than Elsa in this regard. Like, he's... Yeah, they really struck gold with this little guy, didn't they? Selling all the merch. He's even got his own little short film. I hate him, but yeah, no, I think he deserves to be in very Disney for sure. And then we got Peter Pan. What can I? Peter Pan. I believe Peter Pan. Well, he's a very iconic character for sure, but lately nobody really gives much of a heck about Peter Pan, do we? Anymore? Like, I'm sorry, I don't think we do. I think he's you cannot put, definitely get him anywhere below Disney enough, because, but yeah, he's Disney enough, yeah. Okay. Now Rapunzel. Well, Rapunzel, yeah, I'm gonna say Disney enough as well. I don't think she's managed to square up with the rest of the Disney princesses. Like, she's a fine character, she's quirky, she's cool, but she's not quite as iconic, I would say. Yeah. Remy. Now Remy, well, I'm seeing a bit of a pattern with Pixar characters. Well, as it should be. They're really not overly, no, yeah, he's not too Disney, for sure. Now we got Simba. Well, call me crazy, but I think Simba is just Disney enough, right? Like, his movies, I love The Lion King. The Lion King is a magnificent movie, but Simba does not necessarily, I don't think he's in the same tier as some of these other guys, like Belle, Jasmine. No, not at all. Okay. Oh, now Snow White. Yeah, this woman, I think Snow White is definitely... Yeah, I think this girl is almost a mouse, isn't she? I mean, we can clearly see from the last attempt at a live action that they cast this guy to this dwarf. They cast a dwarf to be Snow White. Didn't play out okay. And it's still a very beloved movie. It's a staple of it changed the world at its time. And Snow White is alright. I feel like she's a very boring character, and in all the pictures I found of her, actually, it looks like she's got Down syndrome. This is the picture that best illustrates my point in that case. And there's nothing wrong with that, huh? Okay, it's just stating a fact here. Look at her. It's I got nothing against people with Down syndrome or cats with Down syndrome at all. Ducks with Down syndrome are pretty funny though. I live with one. And so yeah, I think she's almost a mouse indeed. Maybe stronger than Cinderella, but I don't know. No, Jack Sparrow, huh? I'm gonna say Jack Sparrow is Disney enough. Surprisingly, yeah, I think he is. Yeah. Pirates of the Caribbean, the ride and everything, and yeah. I'm not making justice to like. To what? That doesn't matter. I'm a little camera shy, okay? Jesus Christ. But like, yeah, Stitch, he's almost a mouse. He is almost a mouse now. Yeah, I really think so. I would even argue for it. Think about it. He's like the new little guy, like the new. I don't know. I'm gonna put him in almost a mouse. I feel like he belongs there. Seriously, I seriously do. I might be crazy. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. Now, the Stormtroopers are also a very interesting case, for sure. Because, more so than Darth Vader, I think they have been heavily Disneyfied. Heavily. Like, there's plushies of the fucking guys. Like, there used to be action figures. Naturally, of course, I understand that. But now there's plushies, and there's like... I don't know. I think they have been seriously Disneyfied. Absorbed by Disney. Tragedy. I hate it. But yeah, I think I'm gonna put these guys in... Jesus Christ, in very Disney. I will put the Stormtroopers in very Disney. And I'm not happy about it, okay? I'm not. But like, yeah, they are one of the faces of Disney nowadays, I think. Then we got Tigger, huh? More so than Eeyore, I think. Yeah, I think Tigger is a very big character. I'm gonna put him right here. Yeah, I think that's fair. Then we got Timon and Pumbaa. Similarly to Chip and Dale, I clumped them together. I think these guys are way more Disney than Chip and Dale. I mean, like by a milestone, really. However, I don't think they square up to Genie, to Aladdin, you know. No, I'm gonna put them right here. Oh, look, Tinkerbell. Okay, Tinkerbell is a very good way to explain what I mean with this whole tier list, because Tinkerbell is so, but I mean so fucking Disney. That she could be the face of Disney, you know? If there was no Mickey Mouse, if Mickey Mouse was suddenly like erased from existence, of course we'd still have Donald Duck and just that kind of shit. But Tinkerbell, she's almost as powerful an image of, you know, just Disney as Mickey Mouse. I mean, and it's very close in the case of Tinkerbell. It's very, very close. She represents like that essence, that magic. She's the one who paints the logo, and there's a reason for that, you know. And with the years, she's definitely been, yeah. She's kept that place. I mean, definitely, yeah. Watch out, Mickey Mouse. I dare I even say? What the fuck am I saying? Yeah, she's almost a mouse. And then we got Walt Disney, huh? Oh la la. Well, let's just put it this way. He was an FBI agent. Was it? Yeah, was it? Yeah. He smoked like 12 packs of cigarettes a day. He was pretty much a slaver. So he was tough guy. Really, yeah, tough guy. So I feel comfortable saying the guy is not really too Disney after all, is he? And there he goes. Okay. Now this guy, Winnie the Pooh. Oh my goodness. This guy is very Disney, bordering on almost a mouse. But I'm gonna keep the almost a mouse tier a little more elite, a little more VIP, a little more exclusive. So, Winnie Pooh almost makes it though. Winnie the Pooh almost makes it, yeah. Now we got Woody. I think, yeah, very Disney, but yeah, I think less so even than Buzz. I don't know. Well, no. Like Buzz Lightyear, I'm sure he sells more toys, which is in character. Yeah, there's more rides and stuff like that in Disneyland. But yeah, no, Woody definitely has got some Disneyness to him that Buzz doesn't. So yeah, he's very Disney. Yen Sid, well, this is funny because the guy is like, yeah, he's Disney. His name backwards is spelled Disney and all that shit. But dare I say, the guy he's a hard ass. I don't know. We've seen him just like a couple times ever. Yeah, I like the character. But I'm gonna say he's not too Disney, yeah. Asha, not too Disney. Is anyone really gonna be... Is that a controversial statement for anyone in the face of the earth? Did anyone like that f***ing movie? Or this annoying bitch? I don't think so. I really don't think so. And if you do, if you like Asha or Wish, it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, you are still welcome here. It's not okay, but you're welcome here. Yeah, yeah. So, oh, Jafar. Okay, Jafar, okay. Very Disney, am I right? Yeah, very Disney for sure. A very iconic character. He's almost goofy at times. Well, he like Captain Hook used to be, or something. He threads a fine line of not being too intimidating or horrifying, while also being it's very Disney. Yeah, then we got Cusco. Well, for Cusco, I don't think he's too Disney. No. I love the movie. One of the best things Disney's ever made, maybe, but perhaps. At least a personal favorite. But yeah. Alright, there he goes. Pinocchio. Damn, Pinocchio. I'm gonna put Pinocchio right here. Same, yeah. I think he's very iconic, but yeah. Then we got Ralph. I'm sorry, I just some of these new characters, this recent, well, it's not new anymore, but like some of the recent movies from this century, like they just something was lost there. What wasn't there? Some Disneyness just disappeared with the turn of the century, didn't it? Because Ralph, I think he belongs right here. Now on to Scar. Bad motherfucker. Oh, he's a bad motherfucker. Same as with Cruella, you know? Like, he's probably the best. My personal favorite Disney villain, perhaps. But I gotta say, he's not in brand with Disney, so to speak. Then Tarzan, yeah. Same thing that I was talking about with Mulan, Hercules. Like they appeared in a Disney movie. They had a very iconic versions of those myths characters. Yeah. But in the case of Tarzan, I think even less so. Yeah, I think the guy is not too Disney. I think so. I like the movie though. Yeah. This has just if it's not clear enough, this has nothing to do with my enjoyment of these movies or characters. And then, I help with this. Help with this guy here. Fuck even is his name Michael? It's Michael, right? Yeah, Michael. I did not put this guy in the tier list. That's for sure. We're just gonna create a new tier. Who the fuck? Who gives a fuck about Michael? And there he goes. Okay. And Merlin. Well, I think he's a very Disney character, definitely. Well, no. Okay, I'm not gonna put him in the... Or am I? Look, the guy... like formerly, the idea of the character, as was portrayed by Disney in this Renaissance, he had the potential to kind of transcend the same way Tinkerbell managed to do, or the fairy godmother failed to do. I think he's a kind of an in-between. I'm gonna leave him right here. Lady and the Tramp. Okay. If this was Disney moments, this guy's eating spaghetti with the Italians singing and all, and that's as Disney as it gets, for sure. But the characters themselves, I don't think so, no. Yeah. They are Disney enough, though, for sure. Then we got Robin Hood. I don't know. I think he's kind of fallen out of style. But I'm gonna put him right here. But yeah, why not? And finally, Ursula. Well, I'm gonna put him very Disney. I think we can all agree. Like, yeah, she's also spooky and all that. but I think she's more iconic than she is son of a bitch, as was the case with Scar or Cruella. I don't know if I'm making much sense with some of these characters. I hope I am, but let's just see how it goes. Okay, and finally, Jiminy Cricket. Very similarly to Tinkerbell, this guy is Disney, you know? He sings When You Wish Upon a Star and all that stuff, yeah. But, yeah, I think this guy is more of a Walt Disney than Walt Disney really was. I don't know if that makes sense. Yeah, he's definitely... I think Jiminy Cricket is definitely almost the mouse. Maybe not so much as Tinkerbell. Maybe not. Maybe yes, actually. I'll have to think about that for a second. But yeah, that was the tier list, you guys. I'm very happy. I'm very happy with this first video. Like I said, it's the first one. I'm still a little camera shy. It's different. In the podcast, we're talking between me and the guys. But here I'm, just by myself. And I like talking about these kinds of things. I'm glad if any of you enjoyed your time here. Yeah, that's a plus. It's nice. It's just, we all win. Okay. So, what we're gonna do with the magic of editing, because I've already been, like I said, I could talk about this for hours. We could have a 3-hour video about this kind of shit, but we need to know each other better first, don't you think? So I'm just gonna, with the magic of editing, we're just gonna put every single one of these guys where I really think they belong, more exactly. We're gonna like this. Yeah, there's more like it, isn't it? Yeah. So that would be the tier list, more precisely so. What do you guys think about it? Please let me know. I'm sure there's a lot of interesting points to be made that I missed. Also in a bit of a, I kind of had to rush through it. A little bit. Yeah, there's a lot of characters. And I could have put even more characters, but for the time being, I think I'm happy with the result. And I think it was an interesting experiment, an interesting thing to talk about. So thank you guys. Thank you for joining me, and we'll see you on the next topic. Thanks. Meow. Yeah, let me do that one again. Meow.